Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Crafting and Crime Daily. I'm your host, Rebecca, and we recap live trials on this channel. Today, I'm covering the trial of Robert Tejas. After the verdict, what happens during the penalty phase? Stay tuned. Hello, welcome back. Glad you could make it. So, yesterday, we got a verdict from the jury after 2.5 days of deliberation in this case. So the jury, interestingly, I don't know what took them so long, but I have some thoughts on it. In any case, they came back unanimous, guilty, first degree, premeditated murder. They agreed that it was, they had to find murder in one of three ways: either premeditated murder, either murder by lying in wait, or murder that happens during the abuse of an elder. Now, the judge had instructed them that they didn't need to all agree on what their theory of the murder was. In other words, some of them might have felt that it was lying in wait. Some of them might have felt it was premeditated. They just had to all 12 agree that it was murder. Well, they came back unanimous as to each and every one of those. Unanimous as to premeditation, unanimous as to lying in wait, and unanimous as to abuse of an elder. So I think that might have been what was taking so long to become unanimous on all three of those things. Although my belief is that the state proved beyond a reasonable doubt all three of those things. So that's my theory of why maybe it took them so long. Maybe they misunderstood that they didn't have to be unanimous on all three of those things, but that's just my opinion. So after a recess, about an hour and a half for lunch, the jury returned. In the state of Nevada, the jury decides the penalty. So, and we've had other cases in Nevada, and I just don't remember the jury deciding the penalty in that prior case, that Thomas Randolph case. But it might be because they were, I don't remember why. Anyway, I don't remember. Maybe I was just not paying attention to the sentencing. I don't know. In any case, the jury was heard from just brief openings on the behalf I can't talk today. Brief openings on behalf of the state, the prosecution, and the defense. So the prosecution just actually got up and said, you've got some choices. Here are your three choices: 50 years with the possibility of parole. That's the least of what they could give him. Life with the possibility of parole after 20 years. So the 50 years would be possibility of parole after 20 years. Life with the possibility of parole after 20 years, or life without the possibility of parole. Yeah. So in any case, so I don't know I think 50 years and life with the possibility of parole after 20 years is the same sentence, because this guy's 45. That means, yeah, anyway, he would be 95 after a 50-year sentence. So then we have the defense got up, and they basically had the same argument. They talked about the three different possibilities, and of course they were requesting the 50 years with the possibility of parole after 20. And now my dog wants in the house. My dog actually knocks on the door when she wants back in the house. It's the cutest thing. Anyway, so after the openings, then the family of Jeff German got up and spoke. His brother and two sisters, Jay, Jill, and something else with a J. I apologize. They were all J's. Mom liked J's. So Jay talked about his brother, Jeff German. Jeff was born in 1953 in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and he was the oldest of the four siblings. He never married, but was very, very involved in all of their lives. He grew up, he was a really good athlete, and his brother must have said this like 6 times. He loved basketball, football, golf, tennis. He was just a natural athlete, really good at everything. He liked going to the movies. He went to the University of Wisconsin, got a degree, and then went to Marquette University and got a master's degree in journalism, and in 1978 was offered a job in Las Vegas, and he packed up his car and drove to Las Vegas. So one by one, each of the siblings followed him to Vegas. Finally, Jay retired just a few years ago, and he too moved to Las Vegas so they could all be a family together, and they loved holidays. Jeff loved holidays, loved his nieces and nephews. You know, he doted on them. And, you know, with respect to his career, he took his career very, very seriously. You know, every story that he worked on, he took very, very seriously. No interest in retiring. He wanted to continue being an investigative reporter for as long as he could. So that was just a little bit about the Gurmans. Then the defense put on Robert Tellis's wife. Now, his wife is Filipino, which explains a lot to me. My stepmother was Filipino, and so I'm very familiar with their culture. They are very loyal, and probably Catholic. But you know, she said they had their ups and downs, but, you know, they're still together. She talked about how they were a blended family, her son, his daughters from prior marriages. And, but he accepted her son as his own. He referred to them as brothers and sisters, not stepbrother or stepsister. He didn't do any of that. He was very involved in all of the kids' activities, helped them with their homework, because she said, frankly, I didn't have the patience for it. And he was, and then later on, his ex-wife testified. She said the same thing. He was more educated than I was, so I let him handle the homework thing. He was always planning around holidays. He would always have some surprise planned, and he would share his Mexican traditions with the family, including the food and stuff that they liked. And he was very active in community service with being a member of the Rotary Club, so much so that he inspired her to join the Rotarians, I guess they're called, different club, but they shared that activity, their love of that activity together. No mention of the affair, no mention of domestic violence that she accused him of in the past, nothing like that. None of that came up. And I do want to show you a clip of the final portion of her testimony, where take a look at Robert in this clip, because it looks like he's trying to cry, but there's no tears coming out of his eyes, unless he's just, see, I'm an ugly crier, like, you know, when I'm crying. I don't see any tears. So anyway, that was his reaction.
Failed to ask you.
I mean, Robert he is an amazing father. And like I said, even to this day, he tries to stay involved with the kids. He tries to share some type of an experience with them, even when he was at the detention center. Like him and my youngest daughter, they would talk about anime and manga, and they would send each other drawings that they had. And he really tried to continue fostering the relationship with his children, even when he couldn't be there, even when he couldn't be there in person. Always made sure checked on, even would check on schoolwork, so I would love for my children to not lose that, at least not for the rest of their lives. Robert really is a great father, and he's a good husband. And I would love at some point to give my children the chance to have their father back.
Thank you, ma'am. I have no further questions.
No, Your Honor. Thank you. Thank you very much for your testimony here today.
Thank you.
You may step down.
Moving on. So then his ex-wife gets up. They have a 16-year-old daughter together. I'm not sure the totality of how many kids this guy's got. I couldn't figure that one out. But great father. You know, she said even in his period of time, he spent 2 years behind bars waiting for this trial. No bond. And she said they maintained their relationship. He would help her with her homework on the phone. You know, they still maintain their relationship. That's pretty cool when you come to think about it. A lot of fathers wouldn't do that. So then the closing arguments happened. The defense went first, and he went over the reasons for sentencing, you know, periods of incarceration. You know, is it for deterrence? Is it for retribution? Is it for retaliation? Is it for rehabilitation? He's like, this guy's very educated. Doesn't need to be rehabilitated. So he talked through each one of those things, you know, and the purposes of a sentence. Then he talked about how, you know, he's got no prior record, none. He's a very loving father, loving husband. So there you go. Then the state got up there and it made some really good points. They said, you know, think about all the people that he impugned when he was on the stand. The police, Compass Realty, employees of Compass Realty, employees in the public administrator's office, the district attorney's office, all of those people. And he threw in the DNA lab. You know, if he truly believes that all these people did him wrong, then their lives are in danger if this guy gets out. Because look, you know, this should not have been a big deal. He was a public administrator. He was in charge of 9 people in an office that oversaw estates. He lost the election. It was not anything you would go kill someone over, you would think, right? So what would he do to these people if he got out of jail? Something to think about. So I thought that was, you know, just to save himself, he murdered somebody. So what would he do with these other people? He certainly threw them under the bus to try to save himself. Anyway, the jury deliberated for not a lengthy period of time, come back, and here is their verdict and sentencing recommendations.
And the defense?
Yes.
Okay, juror number 2, has the jury reached a verdict?
Yes, Your Honor.
Can you please hand the verdict form to Officer Hawks? Yes, please.
Thank you. District Court, Clark County, Nevada, the state of Nevada, plaintiff versus Robert Tellis, defendant, case number C-368-935, department number 12. Verdict. We, the jury in the above entitled case, having found the defendant, Robert Tellis, guilty of murder of the first degree with use of a deadly weapon, victim 60 years of age or older, impose a sentence of life in the Nevada Department of Corrections with eligibility for parole beginning when a minimum of 20 years has served. Dated at Las Vegas, Nevada, this 28th day of August 2024, signed by foreperson, juror number 2. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, is this your verdict as read? So say you one, so say you all.
Yes.
Does either side wish to have the panel poll?
No, on behalf of the state.
Mr. Jaskowitz?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, at this time, the verdict will be recorded in the official record. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to discharge you from your duty as jurors.
So life with the possibility of parole in 20 years. Now, they don't have to grant him parole, and he can keep coming up for parole, but he'd have to have lots and lots of good behavior. So he's going to be at least 65 before he gets out of prison. So that is the conclusion of the Robert Tellis case. I hope you enjoyed the videos. Look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Have a great Thursday. And don't forget, today I'm going to be live at 5 on Color and Chat with Joanna's channel. Just look up Color and Chat with Joanna. That's at 5 p.m. Eastern time. It's going to be a good time. We're going to talk about an event we've got coming up in September. So hope to see you there. If not, I'll see you in the next video. Take care, everybody. Bye.